Hi.
Hold it.
Continuity and Change in a Globalized World by Ethan, Lucas, Grant, Hudson, and Leo. First, to the extent in which science, technology change in a period from 1900 to the present. From 1900 to the present, science and technology brought major changes in warfare, in communication, and the global economy. During World War I and II, new weapons and innovations in conflicts far more destructive. Advances in medicine such as vaccines and antibiotics helped eliminate diseases like smallpox and improve life expectancy. At the same time, digital technologies developed by companies like Apple and Google transformed communication through the internet and smartphones. While these changes were widespread and significant, their impact depended on political, economic, and social factors, meaning science and technology were powerful drivers of change, but not the only influence.
What is a globalized world? A globalized world is the integration of economic, political, and cultural systems on a global scale. This includes the free flow of goods, services, capital, information, and people across countries around the world. This creates a network of dependence that affects daily life, business, and governance. Historical context. Globalization can be traced back thousands of years. During the Hellenistic Age, urban centers such as Alexandria, Athens, and Antioch became hubs of trade and cultural exchange across a broad land from India to Spain, facilitating early cross-border commerce. The Silk Road, especially by the 1st century BC, shows this early global trade connecting China to Rome and enabling the movements of luxury goods, ideas, and technologies over vast distances. These networks thrived under stable empires and declined when political structures began to collapse. This highlights the dependence of trade on the stability of modern governance. Now, I'll go through some terms that are important to the presentation. Number 1, globalization. Globalization connects the world through trade and culture. This matters because it defines the modern era we know today. Number 2, the internet. The internet enables instant global communication. This matters because it speeds up connections all across the world. Number 3, containerization. Containerization ships goods efficiently. This matters because it makes trade a lot cheaper. Number 4, the Green Revolution. The Green Revolution increased food production. This matters because it fed more people, creating more equality across the world. Number 5, antibiotics. Antibiotics treat infections. This matters because they increase lifespan all across the globe. Number 6, the 1918 influenza pandemic. The 1918 influenza pandemic was a deadly global flu outbreak. This matters because it shows the capability and how fast disease can spread. And number 7, HIV/AIDS. HIV/AIDS is a global disease affecting millions of people across the world. This matters because it remains as a health issue. Vocabulary, Part 2. Number 8, climate change. Climate change is human-caused global warming. This matters because it impacts the planet today as a continuity. Number 9, free market economy. A free market economy is an economy with little government control. For example, the government under Ronald Reagan. This matters because it spread the idea of capitalism. Number 10, multinational corporation. A multinational corporation is a global company, for example Coca-Cola. This matters because it drives globalization all across the world. Number 11, World Trade Organization, or a WTO. A WTO is an organization that manages trade. This matters because it promotes cooperation. Number 12, outsourcing. Outsourcing is moving jobs to other countries. This matters because it affects economies, not just the ones that jobs were originally in, where jobs are moving to.
Communication and transportation. Some main points that changed was radio to phones, that turned into internet. Another change is air travel and container shipping, and a continuity is unequal infrastructure and access. New communication technologies like radio in the early 1900s, allowed by telephones, cell phones, and eventually the internet, allowed people to share information instantly across long distances. At the same time, transportation innovations like airplanes, standardized shipping containers made global trade faster and cheaper. These changes reduced the importance of geographic distance and helped create a more connected world economy.
Before calling any number, first secure the number from your new directory. Then remove the receiver and listen for the dial tone. It sounds like this. That tone indicates everything is ready for your call. With the receiver off the hook, dial the desired number. For example, suppose you want to dial 23650. Dial each numeral in this manner, pulling the dial around to the finger stop each time. Be sure to allow the dial to freely return to its normal position. And this is the ringing signal.
Is energy and industry. Some main points are petroleum and nuclear power, increased productivity, growth of industrial output were very important. Countries like Saudi Arabia and Russia, because major producers of petroleum, which powered global industry. The United States and France invested heavily in nuclear energy for electricity. Meanwhile, China became the world's leading manufacturing center, producing goods for global markets. These energy and industrial developments increased productivity and strengthened economies.
Agriculture and population change. The Green Revolution in the 20th century transformed agriculture in India and Mexico and the Philippines. New high-yield crops, variety of synthetic fertilizer, pesticides, and irrational systems increased food productions. Countries like the United States and Brazil also expanded industrial scale and biotechnology, including general modified crops, which improved efficiency. Despite these improvements, food industries remain a global issue. Regions in Africa and parts of South Asia still experience hunger and malnutrition due to the poverty, political instability, and equal distribution of food, showing that increased population didn't eliminate global inequality in food access.
Alright, now I'll talk about medical advances. The change in medical advancements, global health in the 20th century. Vaccines developed in the United States, the UK, and France helped eliminate or control diseases such as smallpox and polio. Antibiotics improved medical technology and reduced death rates and increased life expectancy in China, India, and most of Europe. Now for the continuity is healthcare access remains highly unequal. Many low-income countries in Africa and Asia still struggle with limited hospitals, hospital shortages, doctors, and lack of access to modern treatments, showing that global health inequality and continuities. Yeah.
Culture and globalization. Change. Global culture expanded rapidly due to media and technology. Hollywood films, American music, South Korean K-pop, and Japanese anime became popular worldwide. Multinational corporations like McDonald's, Apple, and Samsung expanded into countries across Europe, Asia, and Latin America, creating shared global consumer culture. Continuity. However, local cultures remain strong. Countries like France continue to protect their language and cuisine. India maintains diverse religion, traditions, and festivals. And many societies blend global influences with long-standing cultural practices. Rights movements. Change. The 20th century saw major rights movements that reshaped societies. In the United States, the civil rights movement, led by figures like Martin Luther King Jr., ended legal segregation. In South Africa, movements led to the end of racial discrimination. Similar movements for independence and equality occurred in countries such as India, Kenya, and Iran. Continuity. Despite these reforms, discrimination based on race, gender, religion, and class continues to exist in many societies, showing that legal changes do not always fully eliminate social inequality. Changes in society. Change. Social structures changed significantly in the 20th century. Education systems expanded globally, with increased literacy rates in countries like China, India, and Brazil. Women gained political rights, including suffrage in the United States, Britain, and many other nations, and increasingly joined the workforce in fields such as education, healthcare, and business. Some countries, especially in East Asia and Europe, also saw the growth of a strong middle class. Continuity. However, inequality still remains a major global issue. Gender inequality, income gaps, and unequal access to education still exist in many regions around the world, particularly in parts of Africa, the Middle East, and rural South Asia. From 1900 to the present, the world has undergone major transformations driven by advances in science and technology. Communication evolves from radio and telegraphs to the internet and smartphones, allowing instant global interaction. Transportation and trade expanded through air travel and container shipping, creating a highly connected global economy. Improvements in agriculture, medicine, and education also raised living standards and increased the life expectancy in many parts around the world. However, long-term global patterns still remain. Economic inequality still continues to separate wealthier regions like North America, Europe, and parts of East Asia from less developed regions in sub-Saharan Africa and parts of Southeast Asia. Access to technology, healthcare, and education is still uneven across the world.